Hello guys, so now that we've looked at how to do some basic form handling, we're officially going to start building out our auto parts store. Like I said, we're going to get started with a simple login and registration module. So what this will comprise of will be a database and also forms that the user can fill out their information and register in our system in order to access certain pages. For instance, our order form page here, we're going to only allow authenticated users to be able to see and access this page. So without any further ado, let's get started with that. So firstly, let us build out a simple, very simple, bare bones index page for our auto parts store. So let's go back into our editor here, and we're going to just create a new file. And we're going to save this as index.php. So index. Okay, so on our index page, let us just put our HTML. Okay, so our title will be these auto parts homepage. So let's leave it as that. Close off our title tag. Oh, and of course we do need our HTML tags. Alright, so let's close that off down here. And now we need our body tags. Alright, so now that we have our body tags, let's get to work. I'm just going to use a simple div. Let's see here. And in this, it's just gonna say, let me wrap this. All right, let's just leave it as that. Welcome to these. All right, so now let's create another div, and this will have the links will take us to our login and registration pages. So okay, so in order to get a hyperlink, we need an href here, and that is going to point to login.php, and we'll create these pages here shortly. So this will be login. Let's just use a separator here for now. So and this will be our register.php. Alright, so let's close off our hyperlink. Alright, so that should pretty much be it for our registration page. Now let us first begin with our register.php page. Alright, so let us now create a new file, and we're going to create that page. So let us save what we currently have. Okay. And let us now create a new file. Register.php. And for the sake of time, I will just copy the information from my index page, and I'll just change out some things here. So let me change this to register, and we can say here we can just simply have a registration form. So let's get rid of this. Alright, so let's put a little space right here, and now we can start with our form. So the form action, alright, so the form action in this case, alright, so there is another super global in PHP called PHP self, right? So what this is, what it allows you to do, it allows, it's a variable that allows the file name of the currently executing script just to submit the form or the data on the page to itself instead of jumping to a different page. So beneath all this HTML, I'm going to have the PHP code that will handle all the data submission for this form. So what I'm going to use is the PHP self action. So we can simply say action is equal, and remember we can just type PHP anywhere in our HTML. So we're going to have PHP echo, and it's HTML special chars. And we open up our function here, and inside our function we're going to use our super global for server. Okay, and inside this array we're just going to simply say PHP underscore self. Alright, so that allows this form to submit the data to itself. Alright, so we can just close this off now. Okay, and of course the method is going to be equal to post. Okay, so you can definitely read up a little bit more on submitting a form to itself. All right, so now let us get our form going. So let us close this. All right, so first we're going to need an input for our name. So type will be equal to text, and we're going to say name is going to be equal to, and our first field in our registration form is going to be our name. So we can say name is equal to name, and we're going to put a little bit of validation in our HTML form field here. So we can put required, meaning that this field is required to be filled out. We're also going to do some validation in our PHP code, but you know, there are different layers of validation that we can use. So first here, let me put, and I'm most likely going to format this a little bit better, but let me just get these fields in. So type is going to be equal to text again, and in this case we are going to require an email from our user, and this field is also required. Okay, next field will be password, and for now, just for simplicity, we're going to use one password field. We're going to amend this later on so that we can use password matching, right? So most cases you'll see forms that you have to re-type your password in order to make sure that you're using the correct password. Maybe sometimes you might do a typo, so they definitely want you to retype that password there. So input is going to be type of text, or we can put type of password. Right. So in this case, the characters that you type in your password field will not be visible when you're typing them, and of course this field is going to be required. Let me put just a little break line here, and then we're gonna have our last input type, which is a submit. So type is equal to submit, and the name we're gonna just call this register. All right, and the value is also going to be equal to register. All right, so that's looking like it. Let us include a link here so that we can also, if you're on the registration page, you can also navigate back to the login page if necessary. So let's have a little link here that points back to our login page. I remember we haven't created login.php yet, so okay. All right, so this is our login form so far. So now we're going to need to create a database table that will have these fields. So I'm seeing here that I'm missing out a character here. Alright, so we need a database table now that will store all the values for these fields, and then beneath our HTML we are going to actually put include our database here, our database connection. So we can actually type that in right now. Let's open up some PHP tags. So PHP. So we're gonna say include, I'm gonna use include once, and we're gonna include our dbconfig.php file. Alright, so we do not currently have this, so I'm gonna stop right here as the HTML form pertains, and now in our next video we're going to create our database, okay? And then we're going to continue right here where we left off on our registration page. All right, so see you in the next video.